So the first one is, how many of the people you follow do you admire?
On like an average, like
Not
exact number.
No, I mean, yeah, just like average.
Probably like around 20, I guess. 20 people. Yeah.
Why do you admire them? Like, what is it about them? Or is it like what they do, or
either they're like someone I'm close to that's been through like experiences and like I know like they're really good people, or someone that's like does like social media for a reason to like spread awareness. Like I follow a lot of people that do ocean cleanup and like all that like ocean pollution shit, so that kind of stuff, I guess. Yeah.
Before posting on, like, you don't use Twitter, do you?
No.
So let's say Instagram.
Yeah.
Do you worry it won't get a lot of likes before you post it?
Not really, I don't think so. Like it used to, like when I was younger, like in high school it used to, because obviously in high school it's a bit more of like a cliquey kind of thing.
Was there any like pressure or like...
A little bit, like people would be like, oh well, you don't have this social media and you don't have that and you should be posting this and you should be posting that. But like now I think I just don't care as much. I think as you get older it becomes a bit less important. What
were the things that made you feel like it wasn't as important for you to post or worry about your posts?
I think it's more so when you come into like an environment that you know people don't really care about what exactly social media is. They care about you as a person.
So you'd say it depends on the people?
Yeah, the environment and the people that you're around. I think some people that value it more would obviously, if you're around them, you're going to pick it up too. Because if they're like posting loads of times a day and they're like having so many followers and stuff, people start to be like, oh, well maybe I should be doing that.
So do you feel like there's lots of pressure there?
Yeah, I feel like some people do feel a lot of pressure from their friends or from everyone else. So yeah, as a young person, I think so.
Have you ever felt the pressure to do that?
I think a little bit, because sometimes you get the odd comment of like, oh well, you don't post a lot, or like, oh how come you don't post like this and that, and I'm like, oh, because I don't want to. Sometimes it's like, it might look okay, but then you post it and then like it changes how you feel about that photo, because it's like now everyone can see it, and it's like,
how does that make you feel?
I'm trying to think. I feel like it's not positive, but it's not negative either.
So, say for example, you took a really nice photo and you really liked it, then you posted it, but then you had the thought, oh, now everyone can see.
Yeah.
What kind of emotions would you feel about, like, in that moment?
Maybe a little bit, like, anxious, I guess, because it's like, you don't know what people are going to say behind your back. Like, you don't know that someone might see that photo and go, oh well, she thinks she looks nice, like, but she doesn't.
Do you feel like, what would you like say is a big influence for people needing to validate themselves? Like, what would they have to be exposed to think, oh, I need to do this to get approval, I need to post these kind of things to get like positive responses to make me feel happier or better or more like secure about myself?
I think it's possibly like critical mindset in themselves, when they sometimes your own voice in your head can be like your worst enemy for that kind of thing. And I think sometimes when friends will criticize themselves and they'll be like, oh, I don't like that photo of myself, I look awful, and then you think they look really good, and then you're looking at yourself and you're like, wait, if they look really good and they say they look crap, then what about me?
That kind of leads on to the next question. Do you feel your social medias reflect your true identity?
I don't think they do right now, because I haven't posted since like November. So
the stuff that you have right now, do you think that they...
I wouldn't say so. I think it represents who I used to be. Also, as you develop as a person, you realise I don't look like that anymore, and that doesn't represent what I look like or who I am. Like, I don't wear like band tees anymore. Like,
next question, question 5. Do you feel the people you follow show a true reflection of themselves on social media? Social media. I said it really stupid, but yeah.
I got you. I don't think so. Like, I think a lot of my friends don't know. No, I don't think they do. I think they all post very similar things, and I think it's because they're too afraid to try and be more adventurous to be themselves, I guess.
But where do you think that being afraid came from?
I suppose from like in high school. I think it's because sometimes when you open up to some people and they like shut you down a bit, it can like make you think onto like, well, if they've shut me down, then a lot of people would as well.
Yeah, that's kind of like you know how phobias start basically. Like if you have one bad experience with something and it's like you avoid it completely because you don't want to experience that same like the same feelings and the same like reactions that you do. So
or they'll sometimes think like, oh well, I like how this Instagram looks, but I'm not confident enough, or like, but I don't have that many like followers like I.
So where do you like, if they were to say that they weren't confident enough to like do that to their like, Instagram, why would you think that they have like a loss of like confidence?
I suppose because they doubt themselves, or because other people would put that kind of doubt in them.
Do you feel like the vibe of social media would create that sense of like insecurity and like lack of confidence?
I think so. I think you just have to like do it anyway, even if you don't feel confident in what you're doing, just do it.
Have you ever felt pressured to not do something because of like social media or reactions on social media?
A little bit, yeah, because I feel like...
In what instance? Like what?
A lot of the times it's like sexualization and stuff. Like if you want to post like a cute bikini pic and then you think like, wow, this is empowering for me, but other people would think, oh, they're just trying to like get attention off boys or something, but that's totally not what you're about. You just think that, oh, it's a really pretty picture and I feel really empowered and I like what it represents. Then like other people might not see it that way.
Yeah.
And so people try and like filter that out because they don't want to be judged for it.
Yeah. Have you ever felt judged on social media though?
Yeah, a bit. I think it's when you like, if you post something new and then like you get some people that you know don't like you and they still like your post or like comment on it and you're like, what is this ulterior motive going on over here? Like,
So do you feel like it's sort of, that's just another instance of people being false or fake? Or would you say that relates to like their character on social media, their identity would be all around like a fake person?
Yeah, I feel like everyone puts on a character to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I feel like people change depending on who they're around or what they're surrounded by. Like people will put on a character to match whatever they want people to think, I guess, even if they don't know it.
Yeah.
It just happens. And
have you ever done that?
I think so. Like I think I have done. I think being around different people, you know, like after a while you start to notice that, oh, when I hang out with that person, I do that.
Question 6. How many times a day do you think about checking social media?
I don't think I think about it, I just do it. Like, I don't...
It's quite an impulsive thing.
Yeah, it's like, anytime I just go on my phone, it's just, you just quickly go onto those apps and, like, you don't even realise you're doing it.
But what makes you want to go on those apps?
I don't know, you just press it. Like, I guess it's just checking and, like...
But why? Know. What are you checking?
I don't know. Seeing if anyone's posted anything that I need to like.
That you need to like.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you're obliged to like see what everyone's up to, like you don't want to miss out on anything?
To a certain extent, but when you're like sat in your room doing nothing, like it's more impulsive to check and it's more like, oh, well, I've got nothing to do, just check.
Yeah.
I notice that I do it a lot more when I don't have as much to do.
Do you ever find so would you say when you're bored you do that?
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself bored going on your phone and going through social media?
Yeah.
So if you're bored going on social media, why do you go on it?
Because it's interesting, I guess.
Okay, so say that you're bored. You scroll for 15 minutes without realising, and you come off it. Do you feel any sense of like accomplishment or less boredom? Like what do you feel after that?
I feel like wow, I've just wasted 15 minutes.
But then in a couple more minutes you're going to do the exact same thing, aren't you?
A little bit, yeah.
Would you say that like being on your phone and going on the social media, it's nothing but an impulse? Or would you say that you genuinely want to check social media?
I think it's just an impulse for me personally because I don't really post much and because a lot of the people that I have on Instagram, like, I don't know that well. Like, I know them a little bit, but they're not, like, close friends. So it's more so just like, oh, I'm just going to check because everyone else does it, and, you know, everyone's on their phone, and if I'm just sat there staring into space, it looks a bit weird.
Do you like spending a lot of time on social media?
No, I don't think so. I think it's more so, like, I use it to get the job done, like, to be social with other people. Like, I use Snapchat only to message people. Like, I don't post stories. I don't really, like, look at other people's stories. It's only that it's more convenient to message them that way. Like, I think if everyone else deleted social media, I'd be fully comfortable deleting social media and just texting people. Like, I don't think I'd need it or want it back, really. I don't think it's that important to me.
Fair enough. Question 7. Do you tweet or, well, you don't tweet. Do you post specifically for other people to see it?
I suppose to a certain extent, because otherwise you wouldn't post it. Like,
but why? What makes you want other people to see it? Or what makes you want to post specifically for them to see it?
Say if you're, like, proud of something. So if you did something really, really cool. Or, like, if you're somewhere that you think looks really beautiful or whatever, and you want other people to be like, wow, that looks really cool.
Would you ever, like, post something specifically to maybe, like, increase your self-esteem or make you feel, like, more confident, like, or...
I don't think I would, because I don't think posting would make me feel more confident, because I think, like, the people that like it, you know that they either support you or they don't, like...
Yeah. So it's like, maybe, you know, what about, like, seeing a high number of likes or a high number of comments? Like, would that, like, would you post specifically to get that response, that reaction?
I don't think I'd post specifically to get it, but it'd be nice. Like, it's nice if you see it, but I wouldn't be fazed if I didn't. Like, it wouldn't change how I feel about the photo. Like, as in, I wouldn't feel like, oh, that's a really crap photo then.
Okay, and last question.
Ooh.
Would you ever use someone else's picture online as your own?
No, I don't think so, because I feel like people get busted quite quick for that. Like, it's a speedy, like, no, that ain't you. Like,
why do you think people do that?
I suppose, like, why would people post a picture that's not them?
Yeah, like, why would they use other people's pictures?
Probably to feel, like, valid, I guess, to feel important, because some people like hiding behind an exterior that isn't them necessarily.
Have you ever done that or felt like you've had to do that?
I don't think I've ever done it or felt like I had to do it, but sometimes you get, like, an impulse of, like, do I want to present myself as myself? Like, or do I want to be someone else that's, like, partly myself but not fully? And I just guess I ignore it because I think it's a harmful thing to think about, and then once you start doing it, you can't necessarily stop.
So, like, all the doubt, it's kind of like you have to suppress it or else you will turn into that person that does things for validation. Yeah,
and I think once you start, you think it's going to be harmless, but it keeps escalating more and more, and then it becomes impossible for you to control until you have, like, proper help. So I'd rather stop it before I know that it could get to that point.
You think, like, so do you feel like social media would be the cause for people to think, like, that would be where it came from? It's like maybe emotions or things that they've experienced in social media has led them to use other people's pictures online.
Yeah, I think so. I think they see other people and they see what your life and your face could be like, and they're like, oh, well, that could be me. Like, no one else would know.
Have you ever, like, seen, like, it could be people that you admire, and then it couldn't, like, it doesn't have to be, but have you ever seen, like, someone's, like, account or lifestyle or, you know, the clothes that they wear or the pictures they take, and it's like, oh, I want to dress like that, I want to look like that, I want to do this, and I want to be there, and I want to have all these things that they have?
I think to a certain extent it's like I appreciate, like, the stuff that they have, and I think it looks great, and, like, I'd adopt, like, if I had the option, I would, like, travel wherever they go or, like, buy that outfit that I really, really like. But I think when people look at other people and their lives, they don't realise how lucky they are to have theirs, because there's some people that wish that they had that person's life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
have you ever felt like you wanted to have someone else's life, or aspects or traits from someone or someone's life?
I think aspects, yeah, and traits, I guess so, because people always want to be a better person or a nicer person, and I guess...
Have you ever wanted to be a different person?
I don't think I'd want to be a different person, just that I'd want to be a more enlightened person.
Thank you for
No
this
problem.
interview.